When a community has to make a huge, complicated decision, how do they actually move forward? Together. That's what we're talking about today. We're going to dive into something called the Taos Community Resilience Initiative. It's basically a framework designed to help with exactly those kinds of tough, crucial conversations happening up in northern New Mexico.
And really, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? I mean, when some big project comes along and you've got all these high hopes on one side and some really serious concerns on the other, what does a healthy, constructive conversation even look like? How do you move forward from there?
Well, to help folks navigate these exact kinds of challenges, a new resource has popped up in the region. So let's break it down. What exactly is this Community Resilience Initiative all about?
Okay, so at its core, you can think of the CRI as a kind of hub. You know those times when information is flying everywhere, it feels scattered, super confusing? Well, its whole mission is to create one single, reliable place for trusted information. The idea is to get everyone working from the same set of facts, to level the playing field.
And this is a really, really important point. The CRI is not here to tell anyone what to think. It's not an advocacy group, it's a neutral facilitator. It's designed to support the process of the conversation, not to push for one outcome over another. This question right here, it really gets to the heart of the whole thing. It's the driving force. It's all about trying to move past the usual polarization and instead build up a shared ability to understand what's going on and hopefully make wiser decisions together.
So, why are we talking about this right now? What makes this platform so important at this moment? Well, there's a major new energy proposal on the table that has brought all of these big questions right to the forefront for the folks in Taos.
Right, so there's a proposed green hydrogen production facility. It would be located at the site of a former mine, and it has become a huge focal point for conversation. This is one of those projects that touches on some of the most fundamental issues for the entire region's future.
And this is where you can really see the core tension of the whole thing. On one side, you have supporters who see a real opportunity here. We're talking clean energy innovation, economic development, jobs, revitalizing an old mine site. But on the other side, a lot of people are asking some really serious questions, especially about water use in a high-desert region and what the true long-term impacts might be.
See, this project isn't just about one thing. Not at all. It sits right at the intersection of all the region's most critical concerns: water, energy, ecology, the economy, public process, even the long-term vision for the community. And all these issues are so tangled up together, it makes a simple yes or no answer almost impossible. Okay, so this is exactly where the Community Resilience Initiative is designed to step in. It offers a framework, a kind of roadmap, to help the community navigate all this complexity in a much more constructive way.
So what does that framework look like? Well, the CRI has this clear, step-by-step process. And look, it's not about finding some magical, easy answer. It's about creating a better process. It all starts with gathering trusted information to build a shared factual foundation. From there, it's about supporting respectful dialogue and connecting the decisions we make today to the community's long-term health.
And to build that foundation of facts, the initiative pulls from a ton of different sources. The whole idea is to bring everything into one place. We're talking state and federal agency reports, data from hydrologists and other experts, but also, and this is key, the local community knowledge, the wisdom and lived experience that people in the area hold. It all has a place.
And that's really the main goal here. It's trying to move away from that situation where it feels like everyone has their own separate set of facts. The goal is to create a common pool of trusted information that everyone, no matter what their opinion is on the project, can use as a starting point.
Of course, a healthy process has to make room for all the different voices. So, let's take a closer look at those core tensions we've been talking about, the big hopes and the serious concerns. Let's start with the economic side. $298 million. That's a huge number, and it's what project supporters are pointing to as the potential economic impact in just the first 5 years. For a region that's faced its share of economic challenges, that number represents a lot of hope for new jobs and real revitalization. But that big economic hope is met with an equally powerful question. Because in a high-desert region like this, for so many people, the conversation always comes back to our most precious resource, water.
And this concern isn't just a feeling. It's grounded in some pretty stark realities. I mean, look at this. New Mexico's own 50-year water action plan suggests the state could face a 25% reduction in water supply by 2050. A number like that really puts it into perspective, right? It explains why any proposal for large-scale water use is going to face some intense scrutiny from the community.
So at the end of the day, both the economic hopes and the water concerns are completely valid parts of this conversation. A good constructive process doesn't just dismiss one side to favor the other. It has to hold space for both. And the goal is to seek clarity, not just victory.
Okay, so now let's zoom out a bit, because one of the things the CRI encourages is using this specific moment to ask even bigger, broader questions. Questions about the long-term vision for the entire region.
You know, this whole thing isn't just about one single project. It's a real opportunity to step back and ask, what does long-term energy resilience actually look like for Taos and this whole bioregion? What are our shared goals when it comes to reliability, affordability, and of course, sustainability? And that conversation has to be grounded in the reality of this specific place, right? I mean, given the very real ecological limits of a water-constrained high-desert ecosystem, what kinds of energy development truly make the most sense here for the long haul?
And ultimately, it all comes down to stewardship. It's about asking, how can the decisions we make right now support the well-being of future generations? How do we lay a healthy, sustainable foundation for the people who will call this place home long after we're gone?
I think this quote just captures the spirit of this whole effort perfectly. This is not only about one project, it is about the kind of future we want to shape together. It frames this whole debate not as just a single, isolated choice, but as one chapter in the much larger story of the community's future, a story that they have the power to write together.
So if you're in the Taos area and you want to be part of this constructive process, the initiative is a great place to start. You can reach out, connect, and learn more. It's a real opportunity to participate in shaping a more resilient future for the whole region. Thanks so much for tuning in.